Hello all, it's Cam FTW, and today I've prepared a guide for making gold in Guild Wars that is geared towards new and returning players. This guide is designed to give you a general idea on various methods that you can utilize to earn gold that will help you achieve your in-game goals. If you want to know more specific information on certain methods that are outlined in this video, I would highly recommend looking into methods that synchronize well with your goals, class, interests, and abilities. For example, if you are brand new to the game, you may want to focus more on making enough gold to gear up along your journey, whereas a more seasoned player with more class selection may want to focus on maximizing the amount of gold they make to acquire rare desired skins. Use this guide as a basis for understanding the various ways that you can stay on top of progressing in Guild Wars, and I would recommend using multiple methods that are discussed in the video. With that said, I will jump into the content of this guide. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Farming is a staple of most MMOs, as it is often the main source of gold generation to stimulate the in-game economy. Guild Wars is no different in this aspect. The most profitable way to go about farming in Guild Wars will often require a max level character with specific parts of the map unlocked and the use of certain skills selected for fast and efficient kills. Oftentimes you will be balling enemies to spike them down at the same time to maximize the amount of kills per hour, which in turn provides more loot. This is a method that is great for achieving very specific goals in-game, for targeting particular items that you want to acquire. This method of gold generation is amplified during festival events to provide additional drops to add to those that you are already farming for. What you choose to target is entirely up to you, and later in this video this method may be recalled to show how it synchronizes well with other methods to be discussed. Farming can be summarized as kill enemies, loot drops, repeat. Providing in-game services such as running outposts, missions, or vanquishes for other players is often a very good way of making gold. Unlike farming, which has a relatively consistent pace of gold per hour, services can largely fluctuate based on player demand and the type of service offered. In the current state of the game, many players have amassed their own wealth and are very happy to pay for convenience. This is where you come in. If you become familiar with routes, tactics, builds, and strategies for speedily progressing through Guild Wars content, you can help expedite the content for others at a price you determine to be worth your efforts. Keep in mind that if you are charging too much for services, buyers always have the option to look elsewhere that better fits their budget. This method of gold generation isn't entirely safe, as many players in game, myself included, will provide services for free or for tips. This will provide harmful competition for your personal profit. From what I have found from my personal experience with running, is that people often tip more than I would have charged them in the first place, so it's not an outdated method. This is not a full-time way to make gold in game, as people are not always looking for runners at all hours of the day. This is a good one to keep in your back pocket and use when someone is looking for a service that you can provide. Similar to running outposts, chest running requires a build and ability to run past mobs while maintaining your health. This method of gold acquisition uses in-game chests that are located around the world, and keys or lockpicks to open them up and grab the loot from within. This can be done in either normal mode or hard mode depending on your desired result, and is often done in prophecies and factions explorable areas for the chance of looting a rare old school weapon with a unique skin. Some of these items sell for very high amounts, so this method is a preferred method for many veteran players. One thing to note with this method is that you need to invest a bit of capital in obtaining the keys and lockpicks before you can see any return by selling the chest contents. The drops from this method are generally sold to merchants in-game, as well as to other players if it is a good enough drop to gather their interest. The amount of gold that you can make from this method varies significantly, and this is mainly done to strike it rich if you manage to get a desired skin and stat combination. One of the biggest driving forces behind the Guild Wars economy is the ability to trade with other players in-game. When you obtain a valuable item, you are able to exchange the item you get for gold or other items by offers from other players. This means that if you are knowledgeable about pricing and don't mind camping out in Commandant to snag good deals when they pop up, you can turn a profit with little effort on your end. This is a perfectly viable method for making gold in Guild Wars, but it also carries a certain degree of risk with it. If you buy an item thinking that it was a great deal, but later find that the item is very difficult to sell, or has very little demand, then you may be losing time and gold to get your investment back. There are some websites available that help keep the trading community flowing, and these sites can be a helpful tool to making sure that you are trading as effectively and efficiently as possible. In some cases, you may prefer to trade your gold for items that other players have farmed that help you complete other methods from this guide in a more timely manner, as we will explain next. Another popular method for making gold involves turning in items each week to a traveler that spawns in various locations around the world. Each week, an NPC named Nicholas the Traveler shows up at a new place in Tyria and offers up to 5 gifts in exchange for items that drop from foes around the area that he's currently located. These gifts contain valuable items that are highly sought after for endgame content, as well as other exclusive in-game items such as mini pets and tonics, so it is generally worth it to do this each week. New players may have a difficult time with this method until they explore more of the world, as he spawns in locations from each campaign. It is still worth it to try to get this done if the location is somewhat near a place you have previously unlocked on any character on your account. To get the items that you request each week, there are a couple ways to do this, both of which have been previously discussed in this guide. One way is to go out and farm the items yourself. This way may take a bit longer, but you avoid spending gold for the items, meaning you gain more profit from collecting the gifts. The other way is to buy the weekly items from a player that has already farmed them. This method rewards other players for taking the time to farm the item, and rewards you by allowing you to make a profit from the gifts with minimal effort, but it does cut into your profit margin by purchasing the items versus farming them yourself. Each day you gain access to 4 new daily quests that take place in locations around all of Tyria. Similar to the Nick gifts, this may be difficult for new players to do each day, but will become easier as you explore more of the map. There are 4 different types of quests that are offered, which are Mission, Bounty, Combat, and Vanquish. The Mission quests have you complete a random mission from one of the campaigns. The Bounty quests are focused on killing a specific boss around the world. The Combat quests are oriented around PvP game mode tasks, and the Vanquish quests require you to kill every enemy in hard mode within a specific map. The Mission and Bounty quests can be done in both normal mode and in hard mode, but the rewards for completion are greater for the hard mode requirements. If you complete the quest in hard mode, you will also receive the normal mode rewards in addition to the hard mode rewards, so it is always worth it to try for the harder difficulty. The rewards for completion of the quests are Zaishen coins. These coins can be upgraded from copper to silver and silver to gold. At each tier, these coins can be spent on various rewards, such as exclusive weapons, additional equipment storage, or inventory bag upgrades, to name a few. These coins can also be sold to other players for a decent amount of gold. Often regarded as the pinnacle of Guild Wars endgame content, speed clears require the highest skill and involve getting through challenging content as quickly as possible. The areas of focus are often the elite areas of the game, such as the Fissure of Woe, the Underworld, the Domain of Anguish, the Deep, Urgaz Warren, and many of the Eye of the North dungeons. The builds for speed clears are highly specialized, and oftentimes you will be responsible for maintaining a role within the party. These are designed to be played with other players, and take some time to learn, so the barrier to entry is a bit higher than most of the other methods of this guide. The best way to get integrated into speed clears is by joining a guild that regularly does them. Many guilds also train players on various roles and strategies of the speed clears. This method requires a very large investment of your gold to get the proper gear and consumables to be effective at this level, but also provides some of the better drops in game once you get going. There's also a time investment that is required to learn the various encounters and your role within the encounter. Once you get fully versed with speed clears, this ends up as one of the highest steady sources of gold generation in Guild Wars. Thank you for watching my guide on how to make gold in Guild Wars. I hope that this guide helps you achieve your in-game goals as quickly and effectively as possible. If you have any questions about the content in this video, feel free to drop a comment below or pop by my stream and ask me there. As always, if you find this guide to be helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it for others to see. As previously stated, I highly recommend using a multitude of these methods to maximize your gold making efficiency. Thanks again for watching.